my God, people, what the hell? That first scene of this episode, this shit comes on late night, doesn't it? Because that's the only way they could have got away with that shit. The type of stuff I've seen in this series alone, in this episode, I mean, wow, Yakuza bosses. Did I just see a dude get slobbed up? I mean, this video is gonna get flagged for being inappropriate anyway, so I'm gonna be as candid as I want, not hold anything back, but I just saw a man make another man slob him up and told him don't stop until he come. You know what? Inuyashiki episode 5. Woo! This series, this series is great, and that definitely threw me for a loop, and this was probably my favorite episode of the ones that we got so far, honestly, because it had a different feel to it as the focus has shifted to Ichiro Inuyashiki this episode and his crusade to be a hero and to do the right thing. And it feels different than the episodes that we got before it because the overall tone of this episode was more like a crime drama or like a thriller, because we have this mob boss who takes what he wants, literally, and then we have Inuyashiki who is after him. The best way to describe it, a great man once said, and this is a rough translation in a movie, that I don't have money, but what I do have is a particular set of skills. Give me the girl and that'll be the end of it. And if you don't, I will find you and I will kill you. And not exactly because Inuyashiki doesn't kill, but this episode was basically taken. This episode is what it was. We're dealing with this mob boss by the name of Mr. Samejima. He is the central focus and the villain of this episode. And honestly, this guy, his appearance, his demeanor, the way he was drawn, everything about him was menacing enough to make him a villain on his own. Like, this guy probably could have stood to be a menace even longer than the episode that he was in. That's how well he was portrayed as the scumbag as he is, as this Yakuza member ruins the life of a happy couple just because he wants to. I mean, the biggest theme that we're seeing in this series is people getting off on power, literally, like we see in that first scene. I mean, it's gonna take a while to get that out of my mind, but this episode not only centers on Inuyashiki, but it gives us the focus of this young couple whose life is destroyed by this Yakuza boss. And the young girl, her name is Fumino, and her boyfriend is Satoru, and you know, they're a happy couple. She's very beautiful, and like, her coworker gives her some crap about it because this guy Satoru, he isn't the most attractive man, but he's hardworking, he treats her well, he loves her, and he proposed to her. And just as things were about to get happy for them, everything just goes to the fan as this man sees what he wants. He's gonna take what he wants, whether the person wants him to or not, and he kidnaps this young girl. And we see earlier in the episode as well, he just does this for kicks. I mean, he already had one girl that he drugged up, raped her multiple times, had his way with her, and then just dumped her body out. And that's pretty much what he was gonna do to this girl too. But thankfully, the first time that he actually kidnapped her, she escaped, only to get home to her boyfriend, and he didn't like that. He didn't like that one bit, so he followed her back home. He straight up picks this man up because he's just such a honking being that he picks this man up, straight up choking the life out of him. He probably killed him. I don't know. Maybe they pulled some miracle shit. Maybe he got through just in time. I mean, this episode got me so hyped I lose my voice. But Inuyashiki thankfully was there to stop this man from losing his life, or at the very least, try to halt things that was going on. And Inuyashiki is a very tragic character because, yes, he wins, but he doesn't win gracefully, and he keeps failing and failing and failing, even though he's coming back stronger every episode. I mean, he did get there in time to stop this man from dying, but I think it's just more him getting to know his abilities. It's like he's beginning to be more aware of what he can do. Like, he knows that he can't fight. He still can't fight. He still ain't got no hands out there. He's getting better, but he still takes a pounding. But he still had weaknesses as well, because he could still be knocked out. As what happened was, he took multiple gunshots to the head. Like, trauma can still knock him out. And I've seen, you know, this is similar to like with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. If you go back to Jessica Jones and what happened there, you know, Luke Cage is unstoppable, and not to get off the course, but when you're dealing with superheroes, it's the same thing. Is that when she shot him in the head at point blank with a shotgun, it knocked out Luke Cage, even though he is invincible. And we kind of saw the same thing with Inuyashiki in this episode when he took those repeated gunshots to the head and he was knocked out, and the girl was taken, you know, the Yakuza took her away still, But something that's really interesting is I'm beginning to wonder just how human Inuyashiki is, because it seems like when he's in high distress or when he's in a situation like this episode where he basically lost conscious, this is where we see that little camera thing comes out of his head, and you have to wonder just how human is he overall right now. Like, is he still human at all? And more importantly, it seems like this robot has a defense mechanism too. Or maybe it's just Inuyashiki coming too. It really is kind of hard to explain what's going on. I see it as it's a defense mechanism because we saw it in the first episode too, with those beams came out and they took out those teens that was harming that man. But we see it again this episode, but this time it seemed like he had more control over what it was doing. I mean, it wasn't clean. Like I said, he got to the mob boss, and first off, like I said, he gives us this badass taking scene as he was able to resuscitate the young boy, because you know you can't bring people back to life, and he was really hurt about that because once again he failed. He was too late, but he was able to get some life out of this man, and he called the phone to track down where they took this girl. He picks up the phone like such a badass, and he's like, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna take you out. And when he storms into that base, it's like he's badass because he can't be stopped. I mean, he is still struggling and flailing around, but he's still able to defeat people because he's so freakishly strong. And once again, they start to riddle this guy with bullets. Even when he takes out Mr. Samejima, the rest of his people start to take him out with all of these bullets, and you know he's being threatened. He's saying, you know what, I'm gonna kill you and everybody you love. So when he loses consciousness again, we see this little robot eye come out, and these beams are going everywhere. And even though it looks like he may have lost control briefly and killed everybody, we still see that there's still some type of degree, or maybe it really is just between good and evil, that he didn't kill these Yakuza members because maybe he felt that was the best thing to do, was to kill him. Or I thought that maybe that was the best thing to do. I thought he killed him at first, but he didn't. He actually just, he took out their eyes, he took out their arms and legs, and basically is gonna put these members through all the hurt that they put everybody else through. He's like, you're not gonna be able to see your kids grow up, you're not gonna be able to see your family again, you can't walk, you can't hold them, can't kill yourself. He basically rendered them useless, which is a step away from them being dead. But it was just such a fine episode and a good change of pace, because he saves the day and he does it in such a compelling way, and he's getting better and better with his abilities as he's able to save this girl. And they say that a hero will save us. I'm not gonna sit here and wait. I just felt like singing that when he picked her up and flew away. You know, saying, you know, I don't have any money, but you know, I can take you home. It was just a fantastic episode. This series has hit the mark 4 episodes straight. But what I'm worried about now is we got a completely full episode focused on Inuyashiki. So that means next week we're going to get a full episode of the Shishigami. So I'm probably going to be here raging next week, while this week I'm here with a smile, because this series is just bringing so much. I don't really want to say it's bringing so much new to a table, but it's bringing a feel that we haven't seen in a long time. Like, again, the last time I felt this strongly about a series that had like an eeriness or this type of chilling thriller aspect to it was Parasite, and this is a good series. Like, if you like Parasite, you're definitely gonna like this series so far. I hope it doesn't falter. I mean, honestly, we're almost halfway through because we're only getting 11 episodes of this instead of 12. So we're almost at the halfway point. I don't see a dip in the quality yet, and I cannot wait to next week, because out of next week, I'm going to be extremely rageful, because this little bastard is going to kill some more innocent people, or they're going to try to make him see the error of his ways and try to redeem him, because we're not going to get the fight yet. I got a feeling we're not going to get a fight between these two until almost the end of the series. But either way, I'm on the edge of my seat because this episode was fantastic. So guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on this as well. Again, something that I brought up is just how human is Inuyashiki right now. At this point, I don't think he's human at all. I don't think there's anything human in him. I think he's completely robot. At least that's how it feels. And I guess the same thing can be said for Shishigami as well. At the very least, they're androids. I mean, I know this isn't rocket science, but it's just certain things that we're seeing right now that kind of makes me wonder if we're ever going to get answered just exactly what went on with these two and these aliens who we have yet to see again. It just feels like it was a drive-by. They just came by and said, oh, we just happen to kill some people. Hurry up, clean it up before we get caught. And they got out of their way. And I really hope we do get some type of explanation for that. Knowing this mangaka, we probably won't, especially if you read Gantz. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, guys. So if you like the video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If there's not short the content you indulge on his channel. As I always say, you guys be anywhere on YouTube right now. You chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.